Good morning, sixth graders. It's Mr. Snow here. Today we're going to be finishing up our recordings of our interviews for our storytelling project. Now, I want to go over quickly why we did this project. I had you guys think about an event that occurred to you in the past. It did not need to be the most memorable event. And in that, I wanted us to um, consider our understandings of an event that occurred and how we saw it happening, especially if it's been several years. Our recollection of it may be different or skewed or incorrect. But still, I wanted us to think about that event and our perspective of it to the best of our ability. We thought about all of the details and we really took the time. So, hopefully, this is something that you were able to share from the best of your memory of this event. We took our time thinking about it, so there wasn't these, "Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that" moments. We really took the time to think about what occurred. Then we recorded it, and we got it down. We heard our voice, we listened to it, we thought our voice sounded weird, and we were super shy about it, but that's totally fine. Everyone feels that way. And then we interviewed another person who was a part of that event. And something that should be an aha for all of you is that those two versions of the story are probably different. Now, if you recall, I said, and I was very stern about this, that you should not tell the other person about your recollection or correct them about anything or tell them your version of that event. You just want to hear theirs because we want to see the differences between their version of the story and your version of the story. And this is going to be incredibly important to see that they are different. They're not the exact same perspective. Someone else's vantage point and view of this is going to be incredibly different, and they bring a lot more um, of a different lens to seeing that event. They have an entirely different history. They may have different relationships with people who were there. They may have, if this story was about a really scary storm, they may have a lot more fear of lightning and you loved it, or they have a different history related to weather events. They may have been in a tornado or a hurricane. And so to them, it just feels differently than maybe how it felt to you. So the perspective between your version of the story and their version of the story should be pretty different, if not just a little bit different, because their perspective um, is going to differ from yours a little bit. So today we're going to work on highlighting those differences, and we're going to do that through editing our story. And I'm going to show you a quick a, a quick tutorial on how to edit and put together a story, and then you're going to get to work on that. A couple of quick things. I post all of my instructions via a YouTube video, and I noticed I went in and checked the view count that a lot of people aren't watching those videos, which is really concerning for me because I put all of the instructions in the video and I talk about it. And sometimes there are things I say in the video that if you haven't watched the video, you're not going to know how to complete an assignment. So it is incredibly important that you are watching the videos that I post. In fact, they are required in order to complete the assignment. Okay. Um, and that that's that. Just make sure you're watching the video, okay? And please don't stress about things. Please, please, please see me. You can email me anytime and I'm going to respond to you right away if you need help with your assignments. I'm pretty much here in my home office, helping people all day long. And it, I really, really respect students who are working on those habits who maybe weren't the best at communicating in the past, um, but are now trying to make sure that they're asking for help when they need it. So if you need help with an assignment, please just email me. You can send me a Google Hangout chat, and I'm more than happy to chat with you. We can do a Google Meet. anything, and I'm more than happy to help you. A lot of times it only takes 1 minute, 5 minutes, not very long at all. I don't keep people for like an hour or anything else like that. Also, make sure you show up to my office hours if you need help. It's a really good opportunity to get help there. Okay. Um, so without further ado, let's get started. So I have a voice recording here. I am honestly not even sure what this voice recording is, but let's take a listen to this. I remember when I was a young boy going to the beach for the first time. So this is my example of the story that I was telling. Now, just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you how to cut and move around audio and how to add a little bit of music, a little bit of visuals, because you're going to be editing your video to make it something presentable for all of us and something that you're really proud of to show the person who you recorded and interviewed for your video. Okay. So if I have a piece of audio like I've got right here, it's going to sound funny right now because I'm recording and playing audio, and it's really hard for it to do both at the same time. So it's going to sound funny. Ignore that. Yours will be fine. If you need to add things to your video, like you're someone who wants to go above and beyond and you want to re-record an introduction and you want to say like, this is a recording. Hi, thank you for listening to my story about when I was 12 years old and I hit a home run in softball. Oh my, you guys are not probably 12 right now. When I was 7 years old and I played softball for the first time. I hope you all enjoy the story. So you have a small introduction. You're more than welcome to go back and do that. It is not at all required. If you've done your interview and their interview, you're good to go. So I'm listening to my interview, and let's listen to this. To a beach called Pismo Beach in California. It was so much fun. I have 6 brothers and sisters. So I've decided to break this up where it says the beach in California, Pismo Beach. So I have to make sure that I click on the recording and hit this scissor in order to splice this up. And I am saying, I remember we went to a beach called Pismo Beach. And my mom says, when I record her, I remember that so well, Tony. We went to a beach called Mad River Beach. And I go, oh, I'm going to add in right here because look at that already. It turns out I've totally got the wrong name of the beach. That's right. It was Mad River Beach. And so I might cut up where my mom says, oh, no, Tony, we went to Mad River Beach. And I may add it in right there. Now, the way I can do that, if I have a recording here and I have their recording, let's just add another recording in right here. So here's our recordings. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Now, that's the video of another assignment for my 7th graders, which you'll all see next year. We're about to have a trial. So that's me acting as a judge. But we're going to act like mom talking about Mad River Beach. So I have just cut out this spot right here where my mom is saying Mad River Beach. And I'm going to add another layer of audio so that we can scroll down a little bit. So imagine this is my mother saying Mad River Beach. Now, I've put this up. I click on it. I've pressed the scissors so I can chop it up. And wherever I click on here is wherever it's going to chop up. Now, I've seen a lot of people make this mistake. They have their audio and they have video up here. They're trying to chop up their audio, but they've accidentally clicked on the video. So they're like, oh, right here, that's where I want to cut the audio. Being cut. And they go, why is it not cutting the audio? This is working. This is stupid. It's going to have to actually click on the audio. I'll click the video up here. So make sure you click the audio, okay? So I cut out this here where I'm going to mom's interview spot right after where I was talking. Now notice if I try to put it over another recording, it won't work. I need to put it in a clear spot. And the way I grab it and move it down anywhere you want. Okay. Careful, I want to go in the middle because if you grab right here on the side and try to actually video, you're recording and you're so maybe you don't. Okay. Have this so I've just totally connected these two different recordings. Now there's stuff that I don't want. I can click right in here. Boom. I'm going to click the scissors. So I want to get rid of this part right here. Oh, look, I want to cut it right here, but I'm still clicked over here and this one on the left. So I have to click back on this guy and make sure that I'm where I want to be. And then I can use this to cut it. And I can delete this part. And I hit delete. I just literally hit the backspace button. Once I click on it, I just hit the backspace button. And I'm good to go. Notice I have an undo button over here and a redo. So if you accidentally delete something, whoops, I can undo that. And if I put something back that I don't want, I can re-delete it by clicking that. So that's how you cut and splice bits of your audio. You add music. Now up here, you have your stuff. If you have pictures of your event, say you're talking about the time you went to Disneyland and you have all these pictures from Disneyland, use them. That's awesome. You're more than welcome to. This is how you add your own picture. And you can import. Now, import allows you to do it from your computer or from Google. And I had to go down and click on the Google Drive. Did you notice that? So right here, I had to click on that to do it from Google Drive, unless I wanted to get it from my computer, which is right there. So Google Drive, I have the pictures saved. Let's see if I can find one. Oh, look, all my screen recordings, my doggy, me with long hair. Yes, here's me. Here's a young picture of Mr. Snow. At the top. Your newest stuff is going to be at the top. Or is it? Or is it going to be alphabetical? Ah, it's at the bottom, apparently. So here we go. I'm going to put in my picture right here. Now, images last shorter or longer. Now, the way you make the images while you're talking. So I want this to last. So I'm going to add just four images. I have this image. Now I can come up here for a second. And I want this image. Now you may change it based on what you're talking about, and that might be super helpful. You can change the length of time that your picture is up. Now, I don't have pictures, right? I don't have pictures of my family's trip to Disney. So what I can use this, and in stock media, I'm talking about the trip to the beach, and I'm going to put beach. And pictures in here. Now, the way you can tell if something's a video or a picture is if it has a time on it, right? 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. It's a video on it. Oh, sorry, my computer's a video going at the same time. You can actually just change it to be only images. Here we go. So images. And then I'm going to steal some images from up here, add them on where I want any videos. We can add in some cool audio. See if they have. Oh, these are all songs. Yeah, those are songs. I wonder if they have sound effects. I see the sound effects, but that's fine because look here, I have stock media, my media, text, audio, and I've got sound effects. And I can see if there's any beach sound effects. winter, cave, thunder, summer afternoon, flash, river rapids. This almost sounds like an ocean. Almost. So maybe we'll just use that. So I can pull this down here, and I'm going to audio because the audio can be super loud and interrupting. See that? Now that adds a whole lot of depth to the story. You have sound, you're using images, and you're using your story all to create this image and all to create this picture in our mind of your historical event. So that is how you cut, and that's how you use music, that's how you use pictures, stuff like that. Um, some things, if you want to really get into it, and you don't need to, you can literally have your recording and the person you interview is recording, put them side by side and turn it in. That's fine. That's the easiest way to do it. If you want to go above and beyond and you really you love video editing and you want to get into it, try to interweave your recording with whoever you recorded. Say it was you and your mom. You might say, this is a story about when I went to Pismo Beach, and then you cut to your mom saying, I remember that going to Pismo Beach. That was a lot of fun. And then cut back to you saying, oh, it was the first time I ever went to the ocean. It was so incredible to me. And your mom going oh, it was such a long drive and we ran out of gas and we had to call a tow truck. Cuts back. You see what I'm saying? So you can cut in and out your recording with their your interview of them to really, really, really build the differences in these two different perspectives. And there is a perfect example of this. If you go back and listen, and actually I'll move it back up, but Lily's example of her story to Disneyland, make sure you listen to that. That is a wonderful example of mixing in two different stories to hear how they differ with each other. And it's really, really, really interesting to hear. Now, the important part, when you are done, you are going to come up here and click this finish button. And when you click this finish button, you're going to give a name to your video. I'm going to call it My First Time to the Beach. And I want you to make sure that you are saving it to Google Drive and hit export. This will take a while to export. When this is done, it will automatically create a folder in your Google Drive called WeVideo. You are going to to export this to Google Drive. You have to make sure this is turned blue. Mark the video as public. No, don't mark it as public. Sorry. Don't mark it as public, but make sure it turns blue. Export. Then when you go to turn this into Google Classroom, I can't show you from my end because I need a student to do this. On the side where you can do add for this assignment, add the video link. So you have to go add and you choose Google Drive and find your WeVideo folder and add it to turn it in, okay? If you have any questions whatsoever, please email me. Please see me. Please come to my office hours. Send me a Google Hangout. We can do a Google Meet, anything. I'm more than happy to help you with this, okay? I'm really, really, really looking forward to seeing and listening to your recordings. This is such a fun assignment for me. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.